Good morning and welcome to the Radio 1300 Sunday Morning Show. I'm Angela, and today our co-host is also producer Ken Green. And so we just want to welcome you all to the Sunday Morning Show. And today's special guest is Suddenly Still, a local band. And today representing them is David Petit and Daniel Sersen. Welcome, you guys.
Hi. Hey.
And good morning. Early good Sunday morning to you.
Good morning.
Look forward to hearing from you guys, hearing some of your music and some of the stories, and see what you guys are up to, and just all kinds of questions, and look forward to hearing everything that you have to tell us.
Awesome. We're excited.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having us on the show.
Hey, you're welcome. And how did I get your name and number?
Well, it's probably from Island Music. What's Sam? Yes.
Yeah, we
Sam
do
from
know
Island
Sam.
Music.
Yeah, we're Facebook friends and
I believe it's on.
songwriters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Sam's been a great guy. Just kind of putting everybody together through the songwriters.
Do you do the writers' nights or do you do the NSAI?
I did a few writers' nights.
Okay.
Actually, I saw you perform over there for the first time, so
Yeah.
I remember you from the songwriters' nights.
Oh, yeah, it's been a while. I did the ladies' writers' night, all-female writers' night the other night. So, yeah, that's probably where I first saw you, and then just your name pops up here and there, and so I said, oh. And then I saw where you had worked at a place where a friend of mine works, the Care Share.
Oh, Christian Care Ministry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, our new worship leader, Kyle, it's his wife, Michaela, and she goes, no, I don't think he works here anymore or whatever. But I'm like, oh. So, but God works it out so that we all kind of find out who's what and all that. So how long have you been playing music?
For me, I've been playing music since I was 16, 17, somewhere around there.
2 or 3 years?
Yeah, 2 or 3 years. Yeah, I guess.
I think that was a compliment.
It's
It
been about,
is. You guys are young. I like this.
what is it, 12 years now?
Oh, that's
10,
great.
12 years.
Okay. And are you from Florida here?
Yeah, I'm born and raised in Florida, actually from Tampa Bay, and then I moved over when I was 11. My mom and my stepdad, they got married, and so that's that.
Okay. What about you, Daniel?
I've been playing music since I was 11. My dad gave me a guitar and taught me a couple of worship chords and gave me a little songbook, and it's not looked back since.
Okay.
Originally from Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay.
But I consider myself a Florida boy because I moved here when I was 3.
Okay.
So I have all my family, all my extended family that lives up there in the Maryland area. Hi.
I bet they come to visit.
Yeah. Yeah, they come down every once in a while. But yeah, my parents moved me down here, myself and my sister, because I have a sibling.
Mm-hmm.
So we all moved down when I was 3. And so been here ever since. So I consider myself a Florida boy.
Yeah.
So how did you guys hook up?
Actually, through Christian Care Ministry.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
When I was working there before, I used to always play guitar on my breaks and on my lunch. I always took my guitar everywhere. And so a mutual friend of ours, Nick Paris, introduced us.
Shout out to Nick.
And, yeah, shout out to Nick. Big shout out to Nick.
Hi, Nick.
And yeah, ever since then, we just started showing each other songs that we had written, collaborating. Things just started really meshing well to the point to where when I got married back in October to my beautiful wife, Danielle.
Shout out to Danielle.
Yeah, shout out to Danielle.
Kisses.
Yeah, Daniel was my best man at my wedding. So
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It was an honor.
Thank you.
So
it was an honor here.
So y'all, have you written songs then together?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we started writing some songs together. One of them is actually on the album, and actually the collaborations.
The album? Tell us about the album.
Well, it's kind of still in the mix as far as what the specific name for it's going to be, but there's some pretty great ideas that's coming out of the mix. Our friend Aaron Kreger, he's been helping us out with just some ideas, and then also we can't do this show without doing a shout out to Carrie Fink and the whole TYG media.
Okay.
So yeah, they're helping us out with doing some video and websites. I mean, there's very little.
He
that
gets
they're-
around a good bit
so-
too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
recognize
Yeah.
that
Oh, yeah.
name. As a matter of fact, I think
He's
I saw
everywhere.
him this past week, and now I'm trying to think of where did I see him. But that's what happens when you get so many local musicians and people that are in, first of all, the kingdom of God.
Amen.
And, it's just so neat. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember that name. I'm so looking forward to hearing some, and we're going to get to hear some of that music today, right?
Oh yeah, actually we figured we'd bring some new music here to actually be
Good.
played for the first time.
Sure.
We
Oh,
have-
wonderful.
We
Yeah.
have 2 singles out right now that have
Yeah.
been out for a little bit on iTunes and Amazon and Google Play and so
Okay, well, tell
everywhere.
us what they are. Tell us what they are.
Oh.
Don't make me wait. What's the name?
Go for it.
one of the singles is Circles,
Circles.
and the other one
yes.
is Deliver Me, which we'll
Deliver
be
Me.
playing an acoustic version of a little bit later.
Yep.
Okay.
Great.
I do have to admit, I checked it out on YouTube or somewhere. I saw it.
Cool.
Facebook. I don't know where I saw it, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
checked out the Circles. Yeah.
Where have you guys recorded at?
So there's this local studio in West Melbourne called The Zone Productions,
Mm-hmm.
and the producer of our album, Jamie Staffa, is just an amazing guy. He found us online. I think it was Reverb Nation or something.
Yeah.
He saw
Yeah.
a YouTube video of one of our shows, and he asked us, he's like, so do you guys have an album, or you guys recorded? And if so, or if not, I'd like to record you. Your guys' sound is pretty unique, and would like to do that.
That may have been
Uh-huh.
where I have, you start running across some of the same names.
yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
oh, yeah, well, they got to be
Reverb
on
Nation.
Reverb if they're local,
Oh,
We're
we're on everything, so
So yeah, I probably saw you there too, and so people can check you out. I mean, just Google the name and
oh yeah.
Suddenly Still, and got some other things I want to talk about your band and all that coming up. But
Sure.
so that's kind of neat. That so you got people that we in common, and West Melbourne, and yeah, that's so neat having local peeps, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
And,
we've got a great community here, so we love being a part of it.
Now, what church do y'all go to?
Well,
Do you worship at a particular church or?
for me, I've been at Community Gospel Truth Church
Okay,
under
yeah.
Jerry and Maria
Yeah,
Lawrence.
see, I know them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, your pastor's the only one that has ever. When I first meet him, they remembered my name.
Oh yeah.
How to pronounce it. I was with my husband. I'll never forget that. We went to his church.
They're amazing
And
people.
he's like, oh yeah, I remember you. You're Angela. And so anyway, so I do remember him, and we probably know some people. Once again, know some
Yeah.
people that go to your church. And,
Oh, of course.
Oh gosh,
Of course.
wonderful. So, and do you go there as well?
I don't actually. I spent a lot of time. I pretty much grew up at Calvary Chapel in Melbourne,
Okay.
and I was playing on the worship team there for a long time. But recently, an opportunity came up for me to help a little church plant in Palm Bay.
Okay.
Christ Risen Community Church, pastored by Pastor Mike Bachman. They meet at a little local elementary school, Jupiter Elementary. And so the Lord led me there, and so I'm a worship leader for their church.
That's awesome.
Super nice people too.
Yeah.
They're thrilled.
So, do you do any of your own music there? Do you
Currently,
have a chance to?
I don't currently.
Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
Knowing your pastor, though, I'm pretty sure that if we asked him to, he'd be like, yeah, of course. He's just a cool dude.
Well, you know what? As we reach out into the community and find different people that are doing their thing, whatever your thing is,
Oh,
like
yeah.
like my music is nothing like your music, is nothing like Ken's music is not. We're all so different, but God uses everything to reach people's hearts and
Amen.
to touch people's hearts, and it's just so neat the variety. Even though we just need it all. We
Amen.
need all different kinds of music and all different opportunities. I mean, even my past month has been different. I mean, I serve on a worship team, but we're in my husband and I have a ministry where we're doing all kinds of different stuff. But then I go play music over here, but the music I play over there is not necessarily the same style over here and over there. But as long as we are being used in the body to touch people's hearts, and we're being real, and we're being who we are, and we're being Christ-like. I think that is God will use your music. He'll use the stuff you created, the stuff other people created, whatever he can use to touch people's hearts.
Amen.
Amen.
And I'm just so thankful. Once again, I just want to say thank you to Will and Susan for the privilege to come and share music and to reach out in our community and pick the flowers of the musical artists here that do bring creative songs and gifts of faith and music and hope. And we just thank you all for tuning in and listening to the Sunday morning show today. And today we have Suddenly Still. You are listening to Dave Petit and Daniel Sersen. So from this album that is coming to becoming soon becoming.
Yep.
The first song we're going to hear today is called Hello Fear. Want to tell us a little bit about that before we spin a little bit of that track?
Of course, yeah. I wrote this song, let's see, it was maybe 6 or so years ago, but the big deal with Hello Fear is kind of being in a place of fear where instead of getting away from it, you just kind of embrace it, and you're actually afraid to be without that fear.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
That's
I
an
think
interesting perspective on that.
Yeah, I think sometimes we just accept the lies of the enemy, and we think that it's a whole lot easier to just live with this fear that I have right now, rather than to just let it go and just let the Lord come in and cast out all fear, as the word says. And so, yeah, Hello Fear is just about that.
Do you have anything to add to that, Daniel, or does that when you play and sing this, does that is that pretty much how you would describe
pretty much
the song, how you feel about it?
Absolutely.
Okay. Perfect love casts out fear, right?
Yeah.
And we all have things we're afraid of, right?
That's right.
So from where I sit, I call it a holy roar. I just let out a big holy roar and do it.
Amen.
And just do it, knowing that it's not, nothing should, I should be afraid of nothing.
Yeah. The roar you'll hear in the song, too, is that love is the answer.
Yes.
And so,
with God
Yes.
being that love, Jesus being that love,
Amen.
he is the answer.
I can't wait.
So.
Okay, I'm so excited.
All right.
Spin it, Mr. Producer.
Yeah, all right. So, Hello Fear, right here on Radio 1300, WKQK.
Far too long, and you won't disappear. So hold me close, now don't let me go. 'Cause if you do, my pain might show. So I'll just use excuses, slowly tighten the noose and pray that all is well. As I'm burning in my soul now, I just let this go. Why can't I surely be only 23, and I just can't seem to make a difference now that you're here. Life is so more dear. difference in me. Love is the answer. Love is the answer. Why can't I be at only 23 and I just can't seem to make a difference now that you're here? Life is so more dear to me now that you have made the difference in me.
Good morning and wake up, folks. That's a first song on a Sunday morning right there. Good morning. We
So
have
if you haven't had
Suddenly
your coffee.
Still. Yeah, if you weren't awake, you are now. But what a great message we have from Suddenly Still.
Well, thank you.
You're listening to the Radio 1300 Sunday morning show, and yeah. So are you guys 23? Are you
I was when I wrote that.
okay? Okay. Wow, that's younger than my youngest. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Well, that's good. That's
Well,
great. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, who is singing on that?
It's kind of a mixture between both of us. I mean, on the first verse, I'm singing. On the second verse, Daniel's singing. And just during the chorus, we're kind of both a mixture there. So
No harmonious
I like the
melodies.
song. I do. I really do.
Thank you.
Are you 23 too?
No.
Are you still in your 20s?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. I'm going to recruit you guys. I'll be calling you soon.
All right.
Seriously.
All right.
I got some things coming up next fall that I would like to at least book you for one.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
for
Y'all heard it here
teens.
first.
Yeah.
Oh, she'll
Um,
call you. Don't worry about
Oh,
that.
I will. I got it. Yeah. I'm getting the lowdown right now. So
I'm telling you, lately we've been actually getting a lot of different phone calls from a
Uh-huh.
lot of different people. So
It
it's exciting.
happens,
You know,
yeah.
the Lord's just opening up doors left and right, and
that is where the opportunities come from.
Yeah.
And
Amen.
so are you doing this full time, or do you still have jobs where you have to still work like most of us?
we're still working. Yeah.
Still working.
still working.
Okay.
The
But
goal is to do this full time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And it's just been one of these things where, at least for me, I don't want to rush God, because God is God and His plan
Yeah,
is
you
perfect, and
can't,
I don't
yeah.
want to get out ahead of Him.
Amen.
And so He's
Right.
just been answering my prayers
Yep.
slowly, and in His time. And He brought David and I together,
Yep.
and we are we're just walking this out a day at a time. And so I think I'm content to take baby steps.
okay.
And as long as I'm moving in the forward direction,
Right.
God's going to bring all the pieces together as long as we remain faithful in what we're doing. So,
Amen.
he mentioned he got married just this past year. I've been married. Actually, my 9-year anniversary is
Really?
tomorrow, the 29th.
I was just getting ready to ask you about, because
Did
we
you just
found out
remember
about
that?
It's like, so
Okay.
that reminds me.
Oh,
Yeah, you
about
gotta
that?
stop
Get some
at Publix
flowers.
and get some flowers.
So
Yeah.
you said baby steps. So are there any babies yet? Either one of you?
On his side, not mine.
I have
Okay.
an almost 3-year-old. His name is
Okay.
Liam, and he's
Oh.
my mini-me. He
Oh,
loves
mini-me.
everything music. We just played
Oh.
a show on the 18th at the Hornada Fest, and he came and saw me, and now he's been doing nothing
wanting
but
to-
with his little guitar and dancing around at home. And then my wife's pregnant with number 2. We just found out we're having a boy.
Oh.
That is awesome.
Nice. So-
Well, congratulations.
And my wife's
All
Erica.
right, Erica.
Shout out to Erica.
Yes,
Love you, babe.
Kisses, hugs, and aw, that is just wonderful. That's wonderful. Wow, you guys have really got kind of a good start in a good direction at a young age. I have to say that, because when I was 23, I was still up to no good, and God is the faithful one. And had I, I'm just thankful that you guys are on a good path, and you have been, and it's but you weren't. I'm sure you had your time when maybe you weren't. Okay,
Yeah.
because we're all born, with this thing in us that wants to.
Well, I don't know.
Open.
Daniel was born saved, so.
Was he really? You are the first person, Daniel, I've ever met
just
that
kidding.
was born good. Wow.
No, actually.
Let me touch you.
It's funny
Wow.
because Daniel and I, we both come from different backgrounds as far as that goes.
Mhm.
He comes from I'll let him talk about that. But for me, I didn't give my life and my heart to the Lord until I was 21. Kind of I don't know. It was kind of like I was trying to kill myself with the rock star lifestyle in a way. Everything from sex, drugs, and rock and roll kind of stuff that you would think of, and on top of it, when I was 21, I was seriously thinking about taking my life. To where I just called out to the Lord and I said, Lord, I don't know my purpose. I don't really seem to have a purpose because I fail at everything in my life, and I've had so many different people tell me that my value was less than, and just that I was never really going to amount to too much. So when I cried out to him, he basically told me that I have a new value for you. I want to show you your true value. And the love of God was revealed to me in such a way that I dedicated my entire life to him at 21, and been serving him ever since.
Now, was that in the privacy of your own home, or was that in the middle of a huge auditorium, or at a gunpoint, or what? How did that happen?
No real grandeur. I mean, basically, I had just gotten out of a relationship. I had a few things happen that led me to. I was going over to my grandparents' house. They live in Tampa, to just try to work there and just kind of get my life back together. And while I was there, that's when I just kind of broke down. I can remember driving to the store, picking up a pack of cigars and or cigarettes or whatever, and then just going to the front of the house. It starts to rain, and I'm crying, and I get down on my knees on the bumper of my Ford Explorer and just crying out to the Lord and tell him I just want to die.
Yeah.
I don't know what the answers are, but I just want to die. And then he, I walk inside of my grandparents' house, and my grandma, she's not really the type to go and evangelize or anything like that, but she puts on the movie Fireproof.
Oh, boy.
And,
That's a good movie.
A lot of times I think that us Christians, we do a lot of corny films and a lot of cheesy films, things like that. There's nothing against what they do, because obviously I'm here, today talking about my faith.
God will use anything,
because
David.
of it. Yeah,
Did you know
exactly.
that?
No, amen. And but I don't know. We're always searching for love, because everyone in the world, whether you're saved or you're not, they all desire love. But the thing is that nobody can really give you a clear definition. So the reason why so many marriages and everything fails in America is because everyone has their own definition of love. We can't really seem to pinpoint it. And then when you come to the Lord, you find out who love is, because love
It has a name.
Yeah, love is not just a thing that we feel. Love is a person.
Choice.
And his name is Jesus.
Amen.
And, when my wife and I serve him together, that's what love is.
Yeah. That's a three-chorded,
Amen. Yeah.
three-stranded cord, and that's powerful.
Yeah.
Amen.
It's powerful. I know, and I'm privileged. Like I say, it's all about God's faithfulness, not about our faithfulness.
That's right.
Because I haven't been, but God has been. And to serve with my husband,
Amen.
and to serve in his kingdom with my husband, and to reach teenagers.
Yeah.
That's what our ministry is, Wings of Grace. And it is a joy, and it is a privilege. And only God knew how to bring us together at that age. You talk about bringing you two together, bringing you and your wife together. And to have a godly marriage is powerful, and and successful. That's what makes it successful, is him, Jesus, the person of Jesus. Because you're limited.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you come to, like you say, we all have our idea of what love is, but God's idea of love was Jesus, and to come and show us the way, and to show us to what extent love is when you lay down your life and when you consider others better than yourself. And he calls us to love God that way and to love each other that way.
No. We can't do it without his love.
No, and we do. We all need it. Just like we need air to breathe.
Yep.
We need love. I remember talking about this T-shirt I saw one time. It just said, it broke me down when I was walking through Walmart one day, and it said, this girl had a shirt on that just said, "Love me," and I went, whoa.
Yeah, we're relational people.
That's what we need right there.
Yeah.
They just want to be loved. But people will go everywhere but God. I know I did.
Yeah.
You know. What about you?
My life story is a lot less interesting. A lot less colorful.
That's what you think, but the Lord sees it differently.
Yeah, he does.
I was blessed to be born into a Christian home from, I'd say first generation Christians. My parents came out of a lot of legalism, you know, and they were really influential in my life in introducing me to God and Jesus at a young age. So from the age of 7, I remember it was before then that I accepted Christ, but I got baptized at the age of 7. And my dad, you know, would teach me about the relationship that God has with us. You know, there's all kinds of analogies in the Bible about God, and so that we can try to understand this God that's infinite with our finite brains, trying to understand this. And so I believe it's really cool that God puts these analogies in the Bible for us to be able to understand that. Now, me being a father myself, I'm practically, I feel like I'm God to my son. At least I feel like that's how he looks at me, because he's always looking at me for approval, and he's always wanting me to see all the little things that he does. And
God speaks to you through your child, doesn't he?
He does. And I'm literally living, reliving my childhood through him and seeing what my dad did to me as I'm doing it to my son. But one thing that he said, and he always would go back to, honor your father and mother, that all may go well with you. And that's a promise. And I held on to that because, you know, here I have this dad who loves me and who would do anything for me. And I trusted him, and at a young age as a child, you know, I would trust everything that he says, because, you know, I was blessed to have that father who would not lie to me, and who would do everything he could to mimic his father in heaven here on earth. And so I trusted that blind faith as a child, and it just stuck. It really it stuck with me. Exactly. And so I'm blessed. I'm blessed beyond measure, because it breaks my heart when I see families torn apart and kids that, you know, had not have my childhood. I break for them, because I wish that they would. I wish that they didn't have to go through the things they do. And God is amazing, because God promises to turn those things. You know, when we give our lives to him, when we come to him and we have repentance, and we accept Christ into our heart and make him the Lord and King of our life, you know, the Bible does say, as Romans 8:28, that God will turn what was meant for evil into good. And so, you know, I know everyone has a story, and I wish they didn't have to go through the things that, you know, I didn't have to as a child, but God will redeem that. Long story short, I feel like, you know, I was goody two-shoes as a kid. I was just trying to do everything I could to please my parents. Not because, you know, I had to, but because I wanted to, and it makes them happy.
You mean you did it not out of fear, but out of love?
Out of love.
Interesting. Isn't that interesting?
And my dad would tell me things, you know, and I'm not saying I was the perfect kid. I definitely would rebel, and I'd stomp my foot, and I'd, you know, throw things and stuff. But my dad would reiterate to me, he's like, you know, Daniel, it's really neat when I can tell you to do something because you have to do it. Like cut the grass. Go cut the grass. You have to do it. But when you can come to me and say, hey, Dad, I cut the grass, and I didn't even ask you to do it, and you did it just because you wanted to. As a father, that just brings so much joy to me. And you're one day going to have kids, and you're going to want your kids to do that. Yeah. And so I just took that, and I just ran with it. And so my Christian walk has really just all been about discovering God as a father. Because I had an earthly father, but who is this God as my heavenly Father, and what is my role in this relationship between the two of us? And it hasn't always been perfect. I mean, I'd say my struggles, if you look at my life on the outside, you'd say, man, yeah, this kid has had a pretty good life. My struggles in my teenager years in my adult life has been struggling with, because I was never into drugs. I was never into, premarital sex or, drinking and alcohol and all these vices that people find themselves into, filling a void and a hole in their lives. I was never into all of that. My struggles have been, I never experienced that. So, wonder what it feels like. I wonder what it's like to get drunk. I wonder what it's like to get high. I wonder what it's like to do all these things. And so my struggles internally have been, the voice of the enemy trying to trip me up in that. And praise the Lord.
Trying to get you to taste it.
Right.
Yeah, it's not that good.
It's rat poison, I can tell you that.
That's what people say.
It is all rat poison, man.
So, but if I'm just being transparent, I mean, that's the thing
that's
that...
interesting. I will say that I have not met many people with that kind of a... somebody did something right.
Yeah.
And it is encouraging to people like me or other people to know that there are people that have walked the walk, and that they are teaching their children, and that they are growing up and not leaving the church and not leaving Jesus out of their life. And it obviously has gone well with you. Yeah. I mean, to be under 30 years of age with almost 2 kids on the way and a marriage, I tell you, and to still be, and the music, I mean, it's just neat. And it's all about God, and He's really shown you a lot about being a father. And it's not easy to give your heart to this invisible God that people talk about. That especially if you had a father that was abusive or that wasn't walking with the Lord, that had huge shortcomings and sin in their life. It's hard to even look in a father's direction, for the rejection or the abandonment or the abuse. But God is He is who He says He is, and He is a good Father. Amen. And He did give His only Son to show us how much He loved us, and by the power of God raised Him from the dead and showed us that He can walk with us and give us victory and hope.
Amen.
Whether it's coming at 23 years of age or 21 or 9 or 10 or 84, whenever you come, just come, right? And His arms are always open. So,
just want to say too, I think for all the listeners out there who have gone through that abusive father or the abandoning father, the biggest takeaway here for you is that God's love, God shows you what real love is. He shows you what a real father looks like. And so, I didn't know my father. I didn't meet my father for the first time until about 2 years ago.
Wow.
And the thing that I always used to say was that, when you grow up with a stepfather who feels like he's barely ever there, even though he's inside the house, and that the only time that you do see him is out of anger.
Yeah.
What I always told myself was that I grew up without a father out of my own choice, because my heavenly Father was always there for me.
Yes, He was.
And yet I never decided to come to Him until I was 21. So if you're out there and you don't know your father, or you just feel like you don't really have that great fatherhood figure, come to the Lord, and you'll find that your heavenly Father has always been there for you.
Yeah, He has. That's true.
Yeah.
That's spoken from the heart,
And
man.
there's some good stuff there, man, I'll tell you.
Well,
But let's get back to some music.
okay. Second
That's
what we're here
song
for.
is going to be called Send Me On My Way. Okay, so let's listen to it and then we'll
Okay.
comment, okay? Radio 1300 with Suddenly Still.
When I wake, I wanna rise up and never crawl. 'Cause I got my sights set on the greatest prize of them all. No lollygagging, no, I'm not dragging my feet. I gotta get this bed out of my head 'cause temptation never sleeps. Send me on my way with your arms wrapped around me. Whisper in my ear just how deeply you love me. Send me on my way with your arms wrapped around me. Whisper in my ear just how deeply you love me. No finite journey, no. There's no end to my race. I'm just taking it day by day, walking in your grace. So I walk through the sunlight, trying never to stray. But every once in a while, these shadows seem to lie in my way. Whoa, whoa. Send me on my way with your arms wrapped around me. Whisper in my ear just how deeply you love me. Send me on my way with your arms wrapped around me. Whisper in my ear just how deeply you love me. Send me on my way. Send me on my way. Make my way your way. Send me on your way, Jesus. Jesus. Send me on my way with your arms wrapped around me. Whisper in my ear just how deeply you love me. Send me on my way with your arms wrapped around me. Whisper in my ear just how deeply you love me. Send me on my way with your arms wrapped around me. Whisper in my ear just how deeply you love me. Send me on my way with your arms wrapped around me. Whisper in my ear just how deeply you love me.
We have Suddenly Still here today on the Radio 1300 Sunday morning show with Angelia, and Ken is our producer today, doing a great job over there. We've got David Petit over here with Daniel Sersen, and we are just enjoying music from the Suddenly Still album that is in the making.
Yeah.
And if you were
Great
enjoying...
arrangements.
Yeah.
How big is
call
your
that?
band?
Just 4 people.
Just 4? So another bass and guitar?
So I play lead guitar and sing. David plays rhythm guitar. He'll play some leads here and there, but mostly
Rhythm
he
guitar.
plays rhythm guitar and
Yeah.
sings. And then we have a bass player and a drummer.
What are their names? Will you want to share?
I was gonna say.
Give them a shout.
Yeah.
No, they don't get a shout out.
No?
Just kidding. They're awesome. David, go ahead.
We have our bassist Ralphie Perez, who he is currently 16, I think. Yeah,
Well, bless
he's
his
16 years
heart.
old, so
Love
he's
it.
the youngest guy in the band.
Mhm.
He rocks, and I actually taught him how to play bass, and he was a part of my youth group. And then I said, "Hey, why don't you come play bass for us?" And
he was
been
thrilled.
doing that. Yeah. So then we have a new drummer who just joined us recently. His name is Zach Holton, and he actually is also part of the is it the Coast Guard or is it Air Force? He's a new drummer. Just there you
Okay.
go. He's a
He's
new
in the
drummer.
reserves of some kind or something.
New
He's always
drummer.
traveling. I'm telling you, he's
Okay.
always going to different states, and but yeah, we're blessed to have him. And then on the recording, the person that you hear is Nathaniel Rosario, so we have to give a shout out to him also, because he's a great guy as well. Yeah.
No girls, huh?
No
It's
girls.
an all-guy band.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
we're
all right.
very what do you? It's like it's not classic, but it's just I guess what you would normally find in older rock, maybe. I don't know.
So tell me about this title,
know.
Suddenly Still. So why are you suddenly still? What's the meaning behind that? Who would like to answer that?
I'll definitely take that one. So suddenly still comes from when the disciples are freaking out on the boat. They have lost their minds because there's this crazy storm that's getting ready to completely destroy their boat and kill them. And so they run down to Jesus. They find him sleeping. They're like, "Jesus, why are you sleeping?" And he just gets up. He goes out to the storm, says, "Peace, be still." And the storms just become completely, suddenly still. And to which my favorite part is he turns to them and says, "Where's your faith?"
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
but our belief as Suddenly Still is that in the same way that when you become a Christian, that even though the storms aren't gonna go away, they're still gonna be there, but at least we can be like Jesus in the boat, sleeping and being suddenly still
And he's with you.
in the midst of the storm.
And he's with you. You're not alone. He
Yeah.
says, I'll never leave you.
Amen.
Never.
And that's the account in
that's-
Mark chapter 4, by the way, for anyone who wants to look
Yeah.
that up as a
All the
reference.
biblical scholars out there.
That's in the New Testament.
In the New Testament.
Yep.
For some of those who might know. And you can Google it. You could just put in Mark 4,
true.
what'd you say, 4:10?
It's actually beginning in verse 35.
Yeah.
Mark 4:35.
I'm pretty sure if you put in disciples freaking out on boat,
Oh,
you'll
yeah.
probably find it there too.
Wow. Wow, you guys like the water thing. I see the next song we're going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
doing is called Deeper. We're not
Yeah.
there yet, but
Right.
Well, we can
Um,
be because we're
okay.
gonna set up and do this live, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
This will be
Yeah.
great. I
Yep.
think this will be our first guitar duo. So
Awesome.
that'll be good. You guys
There
are
you
our
go.
first, right here on WKQK Radio 1300.
thank you for listening.
Yeah.
You can steal all my thunder, you can take all my pride. All it would do is put me underground. You can have all the answers, you can lead me to die. 'Cause I know you would raise me back to life. All I know is I can trust in you for everything I need. You're
solution. You're the answer to life. You can do more than we can keep in mind. All I know is I can trust in you for everything I need. You're the very air I breathe. Your love's never incomplete. You're taking me in, you're taking me deeper. You are all I need, everything. All I need is you, Lord. You for everything I need. You're the very air I breathe. Your love's never incomplete. You're taking me in, you're taking me deeper. You are everything I need. You're the very air I breathe. Your love's never incomplete. You're taking me in, you're taking me deeper. Taking us deeper, yeah.
Well, all right.
Staring again into the face of my iniquity, it smiles and laughs and haunts me with the key that holds these chains. And I have danced with the devil now for far too long. I want to die to this slave and rise into new life. Oh God, I need your help, deliver me from these chains that bind me down. Deliver me, oh God, I am so helpless and I need your touch to raise me from this grave I've hollowed out. Round and round I go, I'm paralyzed by fear and shame. I can't let go. Is the lie that screams so loud inside my head? In my head, nothing seems to make any more sense. Oh God, come rescue me, deliver me from these chains that bind me down. Deliver me, oh God, I am so helpless and I need your touch to raise me from this grave I've hollowed. I've hollowed out. Oh, oh. Is there any hope? any hope at all of freedom. Whoa, freedom. I see a ray of hope. The dawn's getting bright. It's your hand, your scarred hand. It calls out to me, you're free, you're free from these chains that bind you down. You're free, you're free. You are no longer helpless. I have shed my blood. Rise up from this grave you've laid in. You're free, you're free from these chains that bind you down. You're free, you're free. You are no longer helpless. I shed my blood. Rise up from this grave you've laid in. Rise up from this grave you've laid. Rise up from this grave you've laid in for so long.
Thank you for listening today to the Radio 1300 Sunday Morning Show with Angela and Ken. Today we have had David Petit and Daniel Sersen here with us from Suddenly Still. And how can they get in touch with you guys on the internet? Or where can they hear your music?
Okay. We have, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and as far as our music, I mean, you can find it on YouTube to stream it there, or we're also on iTunes, Amazon Music, Google Play, Spotify, anywhere where you can buy music.
And that's Suddenly Still. We've
Suddenly
enjoyed so much having you guys and hearing your music today.
Thank you so much.
Ken, you've done a great job on the board over there. And we want to encourage you all to tune in anytime, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. to hear the Sunday morning radio show here on Radio 1300. You can also check us out on Facebook at facebook.com, Radio 1300 Sunday Morning Show. You can listen live, or there are plenty of podcasts. This podcast will be posted later, and it would be number 16, and that would be Suddenly Still with David Petit. The song is called Flood's Coming. Y'all have a blessed morning. Thanks again for joining us. God bless you.
Watch yourself. It might not always be that easy. You might just find that you're getting by, but getting by is not the asking price. Now it's your life and the time is up. You might just find you didn't have enough. When falling through is not your attribute, you're thinking maybe you could wait it through. Wait it through. We don't have to wait until tomorrow to believe right now that there is something better than the world we live in, and that God has given us the key we need to reach our destination rather running and running and running, running and running and running. So remember why we're running and running and running, running and running and running. The flood's coming. A funny thing, blood is thicker than the water. You might just find that you need him now. So close the deal and let it all come out. All your doubt. Now look at here. The waves are crashing all around you. simple times are coming to an end. The best actors always play pretend, so play pretend.